welcome to Bahasa Talks, your go-to podcast for all things language and culture. I'm Fely, your host, and today we're diving into an exciting discussion. I won't be doing this alone because in just a moment we have two incredible guests joining us on the call. Hi, Miss Nessa. Welcome to the podcast. How's your day going?
My day is going great, Fely.
Okay, glad to have you here. And hi, Miss Mikayla. How are you?
Hi, Fely. I'm doing great.
Perfect. Now that we're all connected, let's jump into today's discussion. All right. English is the dominant language in Singapore. It's used in business, government, and daily interactions. Miss Nessa, how do the speakers in the video demonstrate their attitudes toward the English language?
I think the speakers in the video express a mix of pride and awareness regarding their use of English. They demonstrate a positive attitude toward the accent and viewing it as a unique aspect of their identity. I think many of them acknowledge their Singlish accent and recognize that it can be challenging for other people or other foreigners to understand, but yet they still appreciate it as part of their heritage. For me personally, I feel like that accents shouldn't matter too much as long as you understand what the other person is saying.
Okay, that's a great point. It's clear that while some embrace English fluently, others mix it with their native languages. Miss Mikayla, what do you think influences the way Singaporeans use English?
You know what, Fely? I think that Singaporeans' English is influenced by a lot of factors. The way Singaporeans use English is influenced by a mix of factors, including environment, education, and social circles. I think that environment plays a significant role because growing up in a multilingual society, Singaporeans are constantly exposed to a blend of languages like English, Mandarin, and other more. This linguistic diversity naturally influences their speech, contributing to the development of Singlish, a unique, widely used informal form of English in Singapore. Ultimately, Singaporeans' use of English is shaped by the blend of cultural influences, practicality, and adaptability that define communication in their country.
Fascinating. These insights help us understand that language is more than just a tool. But we're just getting started. Stay tuned because next, we'll explore behavior. Back to Bahasa Talks. I'm Fely and today we're looking at how Singaporeans express themselves in English. For this discussion, I'm joined again by Miss Mikayla. Miss Mikayla, welcome back!
Thank you for inviting me again, Fely.
Okay, and that's not the end. We have another special guest. We have Miss Myrtle, an educator with a passion for language learning. Welcome, Miss Myrtle.
Hello, Fely. Thank you for having me here.
Alright, so after watching the video, how would you describe the way people behaved when speaking English?
So, based from the video that I watched, I noticed that Singaporeans were able to express themselves in many different ways. So, some were able to speak fluently and confidently, while others hesitated and used mixed Singlish, possibly because they were more comfortable in doing so, or maybe they were still self-conscious about their English. And for body language, I noticed that the confident speakers were able to maintain eye contact and use natural gestures, while the others seemed more hesitant and sometimes laughing nervously or avoiding direct eye contact at all. However, hesitation doesn't always mean a lack of confidence. So it can also mean that the speaker is translating his or her thoughts or simply choosing their words carefully.
That's a great insight. Some Singaporeans feel at ease with English while others hold back. Now, Miss Mikayla, do you think speaking English fluently gives someone an advantage in Singapore?
You know what? For me, one big advantage for Singaporeans in speaking English, this is both a challenge and advantage for them. But speaking in English is the main working and teaching language for Singaporeans. So I think being fluent in English makes it easier to communicate at work, in school, and even when traveling. It also connects Singaporeans with the rest of the world, whether in business, in entertainment, or social media. However, there are also challenges. Some Singaporeans may struggle with confidence if English isn't their first language. Also, the challenge of switching between formal English and Singlish sometimes. Overall, is that while English gives Singaporeans many opportunities, there can be some struggles in mastering it. But at the end of the day, they found a way to make English uniquely Singaporean at their own style, at their own accent.
Great points. English fluency definitely opens door for career growth and global communication. But at the same time, it can create social divides between those who speak it fluently and those who struggle. Alright, we have unpacked a lot so far, but we have one final episode where I'll be on the hot seat. So, stay with us for the conclusion of this discussion.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to the special episode of Bahasa Talks. You might notice something different. I'm not Fely. That's because today we're flipping the script, and our usual host, Fely, is now our guest. So welcome the one and only Fely.
This feels so weird. I'm usually the one asking questions, but now I'm the one answering them. It's a little nerve-wracking, to be honest.
That's okay. That's totally understandable. But don't worry. It's just one final question. After watching the video, what conclusions can you draw about how English proficiency impacts a person's self-perception interactions with others?
Okay, in the video, do Singaporeans know how their English sounds? People had different reactions to the way they speak. Some were confident, proud of Singlish, and saw it as a big part of their identity. For them, it wasn't just about speaking English. It was about feeling connected to others. Some laughed at how their English sounded, while others worried about being judged, especially in formal situations where proper English was expected. One person shared that Singlish was comfortable and natural with friends, but at work there was pressure to speak standard English to sound more professional. And there's no single right way to speak English in Singapore. Whether someone speaks fluently, mixes in Singlish, or struggles a little, what matters is being able to express yourself and be understood, because you just need your ears to listen and understand English.
That was very insightful. Language isn't just about words. It shapes how we see ourselves and how others see us.
And with that, we wrap up this episode of Bahasa Talks. A huge thank you to our guests, Miss Nessa, Miss Mikayla, and Miss Myrtle for sharing their thoughts, and thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's discussion, don't forget to follow Bahasa Talks for more episodes on language and culture. I'm Fely, signing off. Until next time, stay bye!
Bye!
Bye.